All right, so I'm back, and today we're going to do another rant of the week. But before we get into that, quick update on the channel. While I was on vacation, the hotel I manage, we lost a couple more people. They just kind of up and quit, so that's awesome. So basically, my weekends are shot. So I was able to get Skyjack up on Saturday. This is going up hopefully Sunday, and we'll do the viewer responses on Friday. But moving forward, until I can get some more people hired and trained, my weekends are gone. I don't have time on weekends. You're not going to get any content from me at all Saturday, Sunday. I'm sorry, but it's just my real job has to come first. So we'll do the rants of the week on Mondays, and then the viewer responses on Friday, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday we'll actually have reviews going up. So yeah, this is Sunday. I'm actually filming it Saturday, so this is why I'm confused on time frames. So we're gonna do Quake Wave Monday. So rant of the week Sunday, Quake Wave Monday. The other two Bad Q Bugs. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday we'll do probably a repair bay on. No, we'll do we'll do a repair bay on Quake Wave. Because I got the replacement part, so I'll just show that off. And then Friday we'll do the viewer responses. Somebody asked me to do a repair bay on Chrome Paint, on how to restore Chrome Paint. I'm going to send him a message too, but I don't know how. Honestly, I don't know how to do Chrome Paint. That's not one of the things I'm good at. That's one of the things why I hate Chrome, is because I don't know how to fix it. I'd say your best option is one, maybe ask T2RX6 if he knows how to do it. I know he's really good at repairing stuff, so maybe hit him up, but I don't know. I'm not friends with him by any means. I just know him from what they talk about on the Shattered Cast podcast, that he's good at stuff like that. So, and I'm subscribed to his channel, but I admittedly don't watch enough of his videos. Anyway, try to hit him up. If not, go to an auto parts store, maybe. I know they sell Chrome Paint there, so maybe that would be an option. But I'm not 100%. People are fucking idiots at my job. Anyway, okay, so rants of the week. I was going to do one. I had one planned out, but I decided not to do that today because I'm actually in a relatively good mood, and the one I was planning would actually put me in a bad mood, so I'm not going to do that one. Not when I'm about to go work for 14 hours today, tomorrow, and on Monday. So yeah, I'm not going there. Anyway, so rant of the week today is crossovers. Transformer crossovers. I was talking to somebody about this the other day, and I decided, you know what, that's a great topic for rant of the week. So there was a number of different Transformer crossovers that were done in the past, and I say most of them failed completely. I think some of the toys that came out of the lines, like, it was a decent mold, like the Hulk that turned into a tank. The tank was not that bad, and the Hulk figure wasn't that bad except for the head. and the giant fingers and toes. So it's like if you retool that, you could actually get a pretty decent figure out of that. But for everything else, it's garbage, is what we got out of it, and it was really unfortunate because it has such potential, but they fucked it up so bad. Oh man. Okay, so let's start off with the Marvel crossovers. Basically, there's nothing out of those, with the exception of the Hulk, like I said. There's nothing out of those that is really worthwhile. Spider-Man turns into a helicopter that combines with Iron Man, I think it was. No. Iron Man combined with War Machine. We had Wolverine turned into a Hummer, which was retooled into Captain America, because that makes a lot of sense. Wolverine and Captain America, they're the same character, right? And it went on like that. Man, it was bad. The Ghost Rider turned into the Ghost Rider bike, and that was one of the very few that made sense to me. The rest of them made no sense. Spider-Man turned into a helicopter, and then Spider-Man turned into a motorcycle. I think he turned into a car, too. And it's just like, this doesn't make any sense. You can't make humanoid characters turn into vehicles and make it look good. It doesn't work. There's no way to make it work. I could maybe understand, like, take Spider-Man and turn him into maybe a spider and go like Beast Wars route. I could kind of see that, but at the same time, I don't think it's going to work. Either way, I don't think it's a very profitable idea, that particular idea of crossovers. I really don't think that's a good idea. So they really, really should not have done that. Next up, there was in my opinion, worse was the Star Wars crossovers. And no, don't start hating me because I'm mentioning Star Wars in a negative fashion. Don't get me wrong, I like Star Wars as much as the next nerd. I wouldn't say I love it, but I mean, I really like Star Wars. It's a really great movie series, and I think part of the reason why I hate the crossovers as much as I do is the potential that it had. Because, it's just, okay. So the biggest problem with it, two big problems here. One, the engineering. Whoever the fucking engineered these things just was an idiot. I mean, they were just a fucking idiot. They don't know what they're doing. None of these things really looked all that great when they would transform. And I just sat there, I was like, this is garbage. The alt modes were decent, but the robot modes were just, oh my god. Oh my god. And the biggest problem is that they were trying to take Star Wars characters and turn them into Star Wars vehicles. And that is the biggest bonehead mistake I could possibly imagine. Why? There's no reason to take. I know they made this story that there were mech suits that the characters created, that they were piloting that turned into. No, there's absolutely no way to make that seem like a good idea. Just pause this video, pull up Google real quick, and look up the Han Solo and Chewbacca Millennium Falcon Transformer. They both turned into half the Millennium Falcon, and they combined together to make the full Millennium Falcon. Look at the face sculpts on these robots and tell me those are good. In any way, shape, or form that those are good. Because you can't. You can't. It's just absolutely garbage. Now, what they should have done to actually make this work really, really well is take Transformer characters that are meant to be Transformers, that we expect to have giant kibble hanging off the back and stuff, and have those turn into Star Wars vehicles. I know it's a crazy idea, but that's what I thought of when they said that when they announced Transformer Star Wars crossover. I thought, oh, awesome, we're gonna get Starscream as TIE fighters. I mean, imagine a whole fleet of TIE fighters flying in slightly different colors because it's all the Seekers. You know, you could do Starscreams. I mean, you could do I don't need to ramble off all the names of the Seekers, but you could do the regular Seekers, the Coneheads, and the Rainmakers, and that gives you 9 TIE fighters. So that's a fleet of TIE fighters. You could take the X-Wings and you can make like aerial bots. Y-Wings and make more Silverbolt maybe. You could take Millennium Falcon and actually, you know what? Better for the X-Wings? Prowl. I mean, I know it's a spaceship, but we're talking about space, so everybody's got to be spaceships. But Prowl, so that you can make all the Smokescreen and Silver Streak or Blue Streak as X-Wings. You know, you can take Millennium Falcon and turn that into Optimus Prime. I mean, how cool would that be? Or Ultra Magnus, or something like that. Death Star could turn into like Unicron. You could have a Star Destroyer turn into Megatron, and a Super Star Destroyer turn into Galvatron. There is so many things you could do here that has great potential, but instead they took the shitty ass, half-assed, Star Wars characters and mixed them into mechs that turn into vehicles, and then had an idiot engineer put them together. Why? I mean, this could have been one of the biggest things in our lives as collectors. I mean, big events. Classics first started and revitalized the whole series. For some people, the Michael Bay movies came out and revitalized the collection idea. The birth of Third Party, stuff like that. And then it could have been the birth of Transformers Star Wars crossover. I mean, it could have been such a huge thing. And they just butchered it. Yeah, and I was talking to the same friend about this, and it's like, and as cool as Star Wars is, and don't get me wrong, I'm not sitting here insulting Star Wars or saying that anything's better than Star Wars. What I will say, though, is that for the crossover, another great idea would be Star Trek Transformers. I'm not saying Star Trek's better than Star Wars, but Star Trek did a better job of displaying the ships and all the different cultures with the different ships. So, you have the entire Federation with, multiple different types of Enterprise. You had Enterprise, you had Voyager, you had the Intrepid. There's so many. I can't possibly name them all. But there's so much in there. You have the Vulcan ships. You have the Klingon ships, the Romulan ships, the Cardassian ships, the Borg ships, the Ferengi ships. I mean, there is just literally armies and fleets of these ships out there. And because... And this is the big difference, though, is because Star Wars takes place over the course of 6 movies. And so while you get to see a certain number of those ships pretty showcased, you don't get to see a lot. Basically, I don't recall hardly any ship out of the prequel trilogy aside from the original Star Destroyers which I'm sure they called them something else, and I'm just not remembering it. But when the first Star Destroyers came out, it's like I don't really remember much of anybody else's ship. Jango Fett's ship, and that's it. To be honest, everything else was just kind of there, just another ship. It didn't have that feel that the original trilogy did when you saw the X-Wing for the first time. It's like, okay, that's a ship. Or you see the TIE Fighters and you're like, all right, TIE Fighters, all right, we're good to go. Death Star, Star Destroyers, you got a lot of that in the original trilogy, but the prequel trilogy you don't. Star Wars or Star Trek, on the other hand, we're talking decades of TV shows, and each show would showcase ships. So they're very, very better. Very better. That's they were a lot better at showing off, the differences, the different attack patterns. The ships themselves were the difference makers in Star Trek, whereas Star Wars, it was the characters. You got every it's like, okay, Millennium Falcon's great, but if it wasn't for Han Solo flying it, it wouldn't be as cool. Yeah, you know what I mean? But like in Star Trek, you got your, Romulan warbirds and Klingon birds of prey. These things have a life of their own, and they're almost like their own character. But I think those, wow, way off tangent there. But those would make a better Transformer crossover, because then you could have fleets of different species. Like the Borg cube could turn into Shockwave. You can do Klingon birds of prey into the Seekers. Romulan warbirds into Scourge and the Sweeps. Stuff like that. I think my favorite one that I said, though, was the Ferengi. You can do a Ferengi freighter and have that turn into Swindle. I think that would be pretty cool. And for all you hardcore Star Trek fans, Deep Space Nine, Omega Supreme. I mean, that would be so cool. You could do the original Enterprise as Optimus Prime. You can do the Next Generation Enterprise as Ultra Magnus, because it's like the same thing, only a little bit bigger. Voyager could be Hot Rod. And on and on and on. There's so much, so much to really go over, or that you could do with that. And or even cooler would be like if they did like I know they can't just cross Star Trek and Star Wars, but maybe make only a certain number of characters out of Star Wars and make different characters out of Star Trek. So while they're not sitting there saying, oh yeah, these things go together, we could be like, oh, well, the Seekers are Star Trek or Star Wars, and, the, like, Megatron's a Star Trek character, so we'll just get the Star Trek characters and we'll blend them in ourselves, because we're, fandoms, and we can do whatever the fuck we want with our toys. But something like that would be awesome. Especially, like I said, if they were able to, like I said, not blend the two genres, but like, don't make Optimus Prime in both Star Trek and Star Wars. Make him just Star Trek, and make a different character in Star Wars. Instead of doing Hot Rod as Voyager, maybe do Hot Rod as the Millennium Falcon. I think that'd be kind of cool. And then you got the different characters, and you can blend them in, but you don't have to actually. No story is saying that, oh, these are the same, and you're just not making the same characters for both sides. I think that would be really cool. You could do Bumblebee as one of the little shuttlecrafts from Next Generation, because those kind of like almost took on a life of their own. 'Cause they were pretty important in that. But yeah, anyway. So yeah, what do you guys think? What would you say outside of Star Trek, Star Wars? What would make a good crossover? And what is your least favorite crossover figure, mine by far, is the Anakin Skywalker, the emo Anakin Skywalker that turns into Darth Vader, that turns into a Star Destroyer, that turns into a Super Star Destroyer. Yay! God, that thing was garbage. It was just a giant panel former. It was absolute nightmare. But anyway, there you go. What are you guys' thoughts?